Today I want to talk about something every woman I know has felt, but few of us fully understand, and that is overwhelm. It's more than being busy, it's more than being tired. Overwhelm happens when our heart, our mind, and our nervous system get pushed past the point of what we can hold. I want to be very honest because many of you already know part of our story. My husband and I live with our adult son who has a severe mental illness. He has episodes, sudden, loud, sometimes destructive, and every one of them is unpredictable. There have been nights when we have prayed instantly and God calms him. And there have been nights when I thought, Lord, I don't even want to pray. I'm tired. I want to get out of this. That moment taught me something powerful about overwhelm. And it's a lesson that can help women with all kinds of intense emotions, whether you're experiencing grief, anxiety, frustration, or anger. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Real Positive Change podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Freeman, and this is a place where art and wellness gently come together, a space where women can pause, breathe, and renew their souls. Here we talk about how artistic expression through creating, writing, and crafting becomes a powerful support for both the mind and the body. A simple practice I call Creative Reminders helps you slow your thoughts, calm your heart, and notice God's presence in your everyday life. So wherever you are today, driving, folding, laundry, or sitting with a cup of something warm, take a breath and let's begin. Welcome back. Let's start with a key distinction. What's the difference between feeling overwhelmed versus being overwhelmed? Now, feeling overwhelmed is the body's signal. It's a natural response to pressure, intensity, or emotional load. Being overwhelmed is what happens when we identify with the feeling and believe a story about it. Think about it like a kitchen smoke alarm. You know that loud beep, beep, beep noise that goes off when the smoke hits and starts filling the room? Well, the beeper equals the feeling of overwhelm. It's the signal. The thought, I'm a terrible cook because the alarm went off, is actually us stepping into what would be considered being overwhelmed. We're giving ourselves a sentence, a judgment, creating a story about our own worth. When you're feeling overwhelmed, your body is telling you, something needs adjustment. I need breath, I need space or rest. When you are being overwhelmed, your mind says, I can't handle this anymore. Something is wrong with me. I'm failing. Feeling overwhelmed is natural, informative, and actionable. But being overwhelmed is judgmental, identity-based, and it's very disempowering. I want to give you a personal story here. There was a night not long ago when our son went into one of his episodes. The yelling, the rage, the exhaustion of hearing it. Usually I pray and God calms him, but this night I was just done with it. I was completely exhausted. My husband was at work, I was home alone, and I just tired. I didn't want to pray. I thought, why am I having to experience this over and over? I remember saying to myself, I can't do this anymore. I've had all that I can handle. At the time, it felt very heavy. It almost felt like spiritual failure. But now I understand that wasn't failure. That was my nervous system hitting capacity. It was the internal smoke alarm going off. My body was saying, Kathy, you're at your limit. You need breath. You need rest. You need support. Once I saw it in this way, my entire perspective on overwhelm changed. Now I want to go deeper because understanding this really makes it easier to understand and handle all other emotions. Not just overwhelm, but grief and anxiety, frustration, anger, and to coach others and yourself through them. Here's how it works. Think about this. We know that a thought creates an emotion. So basically a thought happens. For example, I have so much to do today. Your body reacts: tightness, pressure, stress, or overwhelm. This is the emotion. It's the chemical, physiological response to that thought. But did you know that there's a second layer to this? The emotion has its own interpretation. Here's the key. This interpretation is that second layer on top of the original thought. It's the story your brain assigns to the feeling, like, I can't keep up. This is too much for me. Something is wrong with me because I feel this way. These are beliefs about the emotion, not the emotion itself. In simple language, thought triggers the feeling. Interpretation defines what the feeling means about you or your situation. That's important to know. It's how we interpret that emotion. This second layer is what often turns feeling overwhelmed into being overwhelmed. And the same principle works for grief, anger, anxiety, or any strong emotion. Let me give you an example. Here's a thought. My loved one is gone. The emotion that comes along with that thought is typically sadness, heaviness, a tightened chest. The interpretation of the emotion is, I can't handle this. I'll never be okay. That's the part that just keeps us stuck, that really starts to create a problem for us. So the key here is let's reframe that interpretation. Let's give ourselves a little grace. We need to understand that of course we're sad. Of course we have this pain deep in our heart. And that we need some support. But then also add, I will be okay in time. For me, one of the most powerful tools that I've found for separating signal from sentence is journaling. And that's why I created the creative reminders. These are affirmations that speak to these different emotions and gives us that wonderful reframing to help lift that emotional interpretation. Here's my method. Notice the feeling. Write down your thought or feeling without judgment. For example, I can't do this anymore. Select a creative reminder affirmation. I go to my list and I look for some kind of an affirmation that would counteract that. Here's just some simple examples. I'm strengthened by God's presence. I have clarity and energy for the next step. I am capable and my efforts matter. I will typically write those affirmations alongside my feelings. I keep them where I can see those affirmations so that I can recite them over and over. I particularly love this little affirmation. I am strengthened by God. I can handle one step at a time. Other affirmations that I have in the creative reminders are some like this. Today I ask God for strength, wisdom, and a heart filled with kindness. I choose to send thoughts of appreciation to those I meet, even those who may be difficult. With God's help, I release judgment and strive to see others as He does, His children. Another one I love, the Savior goes before me, clearing the way and guiding my steps. I feel safe and confident to reach out, knowing that He is leading me to the perfect path in life. With His love and direction, I trust that every step I take is aligned with His will for me. And I'm going to give you just one more. I embrace peace in my heart and in my interactions with others. I speak with kindness, and my actions reflect harmony and goodwill. I have over 1,000 affirmations in this Creative Reminders library that the members of the Real Positive Change group and My Art Sisters have access to anytime that they need it. It's hard to think of a good affirmation ourselves, and so I love to provide these for them because I think it just takes that layer off of having to figure it all out and what to write down. When you can come across something like that that just really speaks to your heart, then it's something that will empower your mind and it helps you to relax, and it's really good for our nervous system. I don't do this all the time, but another step that is really helpful is to maybe draw or doodle or add a little color or collage. I actually will do a page in my journal where I'll do some art and then I add affirmation to it. So my art journal is filled with pieces of art that I create, and then I add these wonderful affirmations to them. So I'm creating this book, this journal book that I love to look at, and it's inspiring to me. Doing this helps integrate the affirmation into your nervous system physically. Even just doing 2 to 5 minutes can interrupt that automatic interpretation layer, and it can restore your ability to make choices, to feel calm, and to restore your energy. You know why this works? Well, it separates signal from sentence. It moves emotions into awareness, not identity. We become more of like, well, that's interesting that I'm feeling that, versus, I'm such a terrible person that I'm feeling this. It strengthens your nervous system. It raises your energy and it shifts your perspective. That's the key thing. It's all about shifting our perspective. Now let me share the plan that I use in the mornings. It's simple. It's face-centered. It's a wonderful creative practice. I will listen to my scriptures. I make sure that I have scripture and prayer in the morning. I do some slow breathing exercises. I try to step outside as much as possible. I place my desk that I work at right by a window so that I can look out and see the beauty of nature. When I start to feel a little overwhelmed and I maybe don't have a creative reminder close by, I just remember this easy statement: Lord, give me the strength I need today. These little steps help. And then, interesting enough, humming a tune, that helps your body to release and resets your nervous system. Breathing, deep breathing is so important. I know the doctor was talking to my husband not long ago, and she expressed to him, it's not the inhale, it's the exhale that you want to breathe out slowly. And that helps your nervous system to relax. It brings your blood pressure down and it resets your system. You know, just taking a little time away from the house is so important, even if it's just for an hour. Give yourself space to breathe. I find that when I go into my art room and I just create something that's inspiring, I lose myself in that hour that I'm creating. I come out feeling so much more relaxed and rejuvenated. So I would encourage you, if you have any desire to be artistic, don't worry about the perfection of things. Can I say that one more time? Don't worry about the perfection. Go for the opportunity to just let the colors and the rhythm and the motion and the movement of your hand back and forth and that watching of things as they develop, letting your mind just focus on that, letting go of all those other things that are causing you stress, causing you to worry, making you feel sad, etc. Letting them, they just are put aside for a few minutes while you lose yourself in the process of creating. It doesn't have to be art. It could be music. It could be stitch work. There are so many ways we can be creative. And it's very important that we take that time each day to give ourselves that gift of creativity. So let me say this to you. If you're living through a hard season, if you're carrying someone else's pain, if your world isn't peaceful, I want you to hear me. You are not weak. You are not failing. You are not doing it wrong. You are human. Your nervous system is designed to protect you. Overwhelm is simply the alarm saying, you matter, you need care too. So pay attention to it. Let creativity, prayer, journaling, and small moments of nervous system care restore you. God doesn't just want you to survive crisis. He wants you to have strength inside the storm. All right, my friend, thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, please share it with someone who may need the reminder. Overwhelm is not a failure. Remember, it's a signal. And I'll see you next time. If today's episode encouraged you, share it with a friend. You can also visit me at realpositivechange.com for creative reminders, journaling prompts, and simple practices to carry you into your week. Until next time, Take a small moment to create, to notice, and to begin again.